Hi Cancer, welcome to a Law of Attraction spread for June 2020. It's Rena here. I wasn't even thinking in terms of Venus retrograde, but it's perfect because Venus represents, money and possessions, and usually when we talk about Law of Attraction, we're thinking in terms of abundance on the material level. Of course it's not. It can be being in that profession, job, that most resonates with you instead of something that you don't really want to do. There's so many possibilities, having good health and great relationships. So whatever it means to you, whatever it is that you want to attract into your reality. So I'm going to lay out the cards. This is from a site called emeraldlotus.ca. As I recall, they have changed their website even. I think it might be Emerald Lotus Tarot right now, but I'm not sure. But I'm just going to, I got it off of Pinterest, and they had their website listed. So I'm going to just lay out the cards. I will tell you what it means after the fact. You got two marriage cards. That's so funny. Can I ever get away from relationship readings sometimes? The vibration that you're emitting. Cancer, Seven of Cups. This can be a card of confusion. Wishful thinking. I don't like that term. I wish if you can think of a different term than wishful thinking, put it below, because to me wishful thinking is great, but in terms of like this vain fantasies, this is a vagueness. Maybe you have confusions over your goals, and that is one of the things that they talk about with Law of Attraction. That you have to get very clear on these things. Well, sometimes it's hard because we may be ambivalent. We want something, but we can see the downside to it, and it's hard to choose. It's hard to be clear on one thing. Perhaps a lot is coming at you, especially since you've just come through an eclipse season and actually are looking forward to more. In June, you're going to have a solar eclipse, so that may give you more opportunities in life. And that can be very disorienting. So, number two is something you need to be more open to receiving. The idea of, this is Six of Swords, the idea that your environment may not be conducive to what it is that you're trying to do. The Six of Swords can be leaving an environment of conflict in order to have more peace in your life. And some people do not understand that this is for the best, that it isn't always a good idea to be around certain people. Cancers are family oriented, so your family may mean everything to you. And let's say that we're talking about family of origin, parents and siblings. Perhaps you have siblings and you don't fight, but there's a subtle undercurrent of negativity there, that if you spend too much time with them, you can find that it drags you down because you're a natural empath. So you may get confused because you're like, well, but they're family, and not realize that they may be family, but they may also be in some way counterproductive for what it is that you're trying to do in your life. And therefore, it's hard for you to feel uplifted by spending time with them. And especially if you are on a path, Cancer, that you want to attract more abundance in your life, that's threatening to some people, and they don't like it. They want everybody in the same boat so that they can feel okay about themselves. And you have to know when that is not going to cut it. Or if you're living, let's say you're living in the same area that you've lived all your life. I have, in my own case, always lived in the basic, not exact same hometown, but nearby. And because of where I live, I don't feel like I'm held back by that location, because it's not always going to be that way. But if you feel like you're in a place that doesn't have many resources, that you can't, you feel kind of trapped even, that you can't travel easily, you might want to live someplace. But I think it would be more, to tell you the truth, if it's more like there's conflict, if there's a lot of negative stuff going on in the immediate environment, that you don't have to spend the rest of your life in that position. The third card is what will come while I am more open to this. So kind of a prophetic card. And we have your card, the Queen of Cups. So becoming more of your own person, knowing yourself more, and also gaining intuitive gifts. You already have them being a Cancer, but this can be heightened intuitive gifts. And that can help you, because with the Seven of Cups, you may be having a hard time discerning what is a good choice for you, precisely because you're not listening to that inner guidance. Okay. The fourth position card to represent the next step I have to take, leap of faith. We have the High Priestess. So this may be some kind of a training that relates to spiritual matters. And this may be completely out of your comfort zone if you're an accountant or something like that. And maybe it's a retreat where, like, I can't say that word, Vipassana, I think it's pronounced, Vipassana retreat, which is that 10 days retreat. And, by the way, those are free. You can, people donate after the retreat, but don't use that as an excuse and say, I don't have any money, because you could do it for free and then give them a donation later when you have more money. Those kinds of things are very intense. It's an intensive situation. I haven't done it, but I'm attracted to that idea of just sitting with one's thoughts. And they do have meditation techniques, but that can be a perfect reset for whatever it is, especially if you're going into something that of a more intuitive nature. That might be the bridge to get out of this type of ADD society that we have, where everything is happening at once, into a more meditative experience. They don't let you use your cell phones and things like that. So that can wean you off of technology and all those other things. Okay, the fifth card is how can I manifest even more successfully? And we have the Ten of Cups. Now this is a card of marriage, but it's also a card of family joy. And so if you have children, hanging out with your children, which probably isn't something that a Cancer person has to be asked to do. You probably do this anyway. But if you have been, for whatever reason, more in that mode, perhaps because you're trying to attract abundance, of being serious and, being very diligent about a job search, if you're in between employment situations, is, connecting with them more, connecting with your family of origin more. Even if you find that you have a lot of differences, finding common ground. I also think, there's a rainbow in this. So I think it is going after your dreams and not allowing anyone, not allowing yourself to talk yourself out of it, and feeling that that's not practical, that's not viable, but really believing that you're deserving of it. And believing that you can have the pot at the end of the rainbow, and that it's not, some foolish fantasy, childish fantasy. And then the last card is a message from your higher self, source energy, spirit. 4 of Wands. A happy home makes you happy. Whatever that involves. Now, because I was laughing at the beginning because I got it with the marriage card, so I'm wondering if there is a connection there. If you are in a marriage that is undergoing a lot of twists and turns, certainly with this solar eclipse in your sign on June 21st, that may be a good boost to your relationship. So that might be something to look forward to, but taking that time for that relationship, not ignoring it, not taking it for granted, is the best way to also accomplish your individual goals. Okay, that's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that you receive something from this. If you would like a personal reading, the link to my online order page is below. Take care. Bye.